we can get bantered on for the price and that, but he's a young man with bags of potential, and so we can't ruin the man already, man. Because what we love to do is just grill a man and ruin him down. For me, yeah, he's not been the greatest, but today was a very good performance, arguably one of his best performances, even though he didn't get on the score sheet. And I feel like he deserved to, but it wasn't good enough. And Arsenal overall wasn't good enough, and I don't think he's to blame for the loss. Yo, what's happening, people? This is your review for Sheffield United against Arsenal. It ended 1-0 to Sheffield United at Bramall Lane. We lost, didn't it? Lost another away game. Not played well another away game. And again, if you look at our performances over the season, even though they haven't all been great, the away ones have been poor. Like, they've been dreadful. Watford, that second half was one of the worst I've ever seen us play in a long time. Man United the other day, poor today. Let's get into it, innit? So, obviously, before the game, we're hearing that Ozil's back. He wants to play. He doesn't play. Cool. He's not even in the squad. He didn't even travel. He was at home watching Monday Night Football like all of us. So he didn't play. Cool. Lacazette's back from injury. He's on the bench. I'm all right with that. You get me? Come back. Start on the bench. Sometimes I do feel like if you're fit, you're fit, you can just play. But I get that, you haven't played the game. Start him on the bench. Cool. Bring him on if need be, which we ended up doing. And then one change from the lineup who beat Bournemouth and didn't play well, but beat Bournemouth, was Willock came in for Danny Tobias, and I wasn't even angry at that because I like Joe Willock and I saw him against England. I saw him for England under 21s. They did very well. In fact, I said, I think in my preview, that he may even get a start. So I wasn't even angry at that. I did want Tobias to play left wing though instead of Saka, but I just starting lineup. I can't out there being angry. There's people out there saying, why are you playing 3DMs? We didn't play 3DMs. Joe Willock, who played in the number 10 position. We played a 4-2-3-1 today. We can't get on to Emery about playing three centre midfielders, three holding midfielders today, because that's not what he played. Joe Willock was the advanced one. There was a lack of creativity, and it probably was on Joe's shoulders to do that, and he didn't do it, I'm afraid. And he got taken off at half time. And I understand that fully. Now, in terms of the gameplay, I thought in the first half we were probably better in the first half than the second half. We had a couple of chances that we had created. I think before the first goal, we done okay. We were holding them a bit. They had a couple of corners that weren't really threatening, and then we had a penalty shout, and I'm going to get to that in a second. But I just want to speak about the Sheffield United goal. Came from a corner kick. Corner was put in, headed back, and tapped in it into an empty net by the man free in front of Leno. Now, Leno, for me, obviously, I think Arsenal have like a half zonal, half man-for-man system. Seen it a few times where they sort of zonal at the front post and a man-for-man at the back post. These are the risks of it. These are the risks that can happen if you do that. When you leave men free in the middle and they're going to get tap-ins. It's so key that you win the first header. Now, that ball went straight over all of them 3 or 4 men at the front post. Now, when that happens, there needs to be a reaction from them. As soon as it goes over the head, you need to get in position. What Arsenal do is they're static. They just stand there, let the ball go over their head, and then expect the guys at the back post, Guendouzi, Luis, Socrates, to get their heads on it and get it away. When that doesn't happen, you leave men free in the box. And Mousse was free, and he just taps it into an empty net. Nothing Leonard can do about that. But for me, it's the Aubameyang, Xhaka, and a couple of us that were sort of in and maybe class match in and around that near post. They have to get in and try and get a touch when the ball comes back across in the second phase. Expect it. Arsenal didn't expect it, and they conceded a goal. And that needs to be learnt from Arsenal. In my opinion, anyway. I'm not a coach. This is what I think. From what I saw. It's either that or you get a man on Leno. I saw the corner after that. They did the same thing. They let him. They just assumed that it didn't work the first time, and I get that, but everyone has to be switched on in both phases of play, not just the first phase. Okay, it goes over my head. Cool, let me run down the pitch. No, you turn around, you make sure that ball's cleared before you even start thinking about the counter attack. So there it is, and at 1-0. Yeah, let me go on. Let me get onto the VAR now, because this stupidness has been going on for too long now. So what I've been telling man about VAR, and it's not even because it's against Arsenal. It's just because it's a decision that, again, the VAR has pulled out of. How many times this game week, this season, this month, are we going to talk about VAR? You know what I mean? This is dreadful, man. This system needs to change, man. This system needs to change. Either the referee goes to the side of the pitch and looks at the monitor, or the VAR man in Stockley Park grows some flipping backbone and give a decision. They haven't overturned a decision for penalty kicks in, 90 games this season? 91 games season? There was one against Tottenham, the Vertonghen one, penalty kick. Easy, all day. Blow your whistle, was a penalty kick. This one here, clear as day, he was getting pulled. I remember last season when we talked about it, about getting referees come in, they said it's gonna stop these things happening at corner kicks. You won't be able to do that next year. We got VAR coming in. What happens next year? Socrates goes up for a clear header. He's probably a free header on goal. It gets an opportunity to at least put it on target, and he gets pulled back clearly. Mike Dean looks straight at it. He doesn't give it. VAR look at it and say, "You're cool, Mike Dean. Don't worry, we got you." And I'm not even doing this whole bias against certain teams thing. That's just ludicrous. It's just stupid officials with no backbone to make a decision. Literally yesterday. No, today. Today was the ref watch show with my man Dermot Gallagher. My man said, "Oh yeah, the challenge against the challenge from Vertonghen in the Watford game was wrong, but don't worry, we're going to see that changing now. Like, we're going to see that changing. This high bar thing is going to be changing, because referees are going to be having to be strong and give decisions." A day later, no, 8 hours later, less than that, Stockley Park looking at it and saying, "You know what? He was pulled back. You know what? He did have a chance ahead of the ball, but we're not going to give it. We're not going to overrule the ref's decision because we believe that maybe I don't know. We believe the ref has seen it." And you know, people could say, "Yeah, you're just moaning about that, and you need to talk about Arsenal's performance overall." Don't get me wrong, we'll get onto that. But if Arsenal have a penalty kick in that moment of the game and it's scored by Aubameyang, as it usually is, that changes the whole game for me. It changes the whole game. And so for me, I don't even want to like VAR anyway. I didn't want it to come in. I feel like this is going to be part of the problem. We're going to have more and more problems. I genuinely think we're talking about decisions more and more this season than we were last year, when everyone wanted to be brought in so we don't have to talk about decisions. I'm not saying it's got everything wrong. It hasn't. But every single week, I'm pretty sure, since the start of the season, there's been a decision here or there where we've all believed it to be wrong or it should be overturned. And you know what I mean? Like, these sort of things just can't be happening in the Premier League now, man. If you're gonna be using this technology, we expect it to be used correctly. There's a reason why the flipping TV at the side of the pitch for a ref to go and check it, but they still don't want to use them. I don't know. Premier League needs to sort out this high bar thing. Anyway, so let's move on from that. That's my opinion on that. And then Saka goes down allegedly for a penalty kick, and he gets booked for diving. Now, when I first saw it, I thought it was a clear penalty. I thought the man went into Saka, and I genuinely thought the referee was going to blow and give a penalty kick. I think as soon as he blew for a dive the other way, I just felt like we weren't going to win the game. I'm not blaming that decision for us not winning the game. I just felt it's one of those games where things not going to go your way and you're not going to win the game. That, for me, wasn't a dive. I can understand it not even being a penalty kick, but there's contact there. I don't think Saka manipulates the contact. I don't think he forces himself into the defender. I think it's just where it's like a coming together, and the man goes over. I think if that was up the other end of the pitch, it doesn't get given as a dive. It doesn't get given as a foul. It's just a coming together, I play on. The ball wasn't won. There was slight contact. As people say, contact is not necessarily a foul, but contact isn't necessarily a dive either. Just because it's not a foul doesn't mean it has to be a dive the other way. There can be a coming together of a couple of players. I don't think Saka's played for that, and it's a dive. People do, referee did, the commentators did. It's a matter of opinion, I guess. I don't think it deserved to be a dive. I think I can see it given as a penalty rather than a dive. But I could also, my personal opinion would be for it to be nothing. And I'm not going to be calling out someone. I'm not going to be calling out Saka for it, saying you're a diver, rare. Because I don't think it was a dive. But yeah, so yeah, and then into second half, just was lackluster. Pepe, what happened to you? What happened to Pepe? Now, man, I'm going to get onto Pepe today. And rightly so. He's been there for a certain amount of time. He hasn't scored a goal from open play yet for Arsenal, which is kind of why I feel like he needs to be playing in Europa League a bit just to get his confidence up a bit if he can get anything from there. Today, I actually thought he was probably our best player. He was our most dangerous player, I felt. I felt like every time he got the ball, it looked like something was going to happen. The move where he should have tapped it in started with his quick feet on the edge of sort of Arsenal's half as sort of going into the Sheffield United half. Quick feet, quick turn, laid it out to the midfield, and it was sort of moved across to the left-hand side where it eventually found Kolasinac. Great ball in from Kolasinac, and he should have tapped it in with his right foot. He should have done it. Like, I've got no excuse. I can't say, it's bad, we'll give him another chance for that. He should have scored that. There's a clear goal-scoring opportunity. If that was Aubameyang, I'll be here saying the same thing. So I've got to keep the same energy for Pepe. Pepe, you should have scored that. I said that straight away. But the play, the movement was brilliant for it. Again, he had a couple of chances, a couple of half chances. Had a free kick, which was saved. Had a shot, which went narrowly over. Had a couple of decent crosses into the box. I think his final third does need a bit of work on it. And it shows that he's not the sort of be-all and end-all right now. But it was always about potential for me. It was always about, because remember, this is really about, when you think about it, we're going to spend that certain amount of money on a player, £72 million, on him or Zaha, who also isn't having the best of times this season. And we spent it on a player who we believe is going to develop into a great player. He's still a young man, and if we were going to just dash him away now, I think it's very, very harsh, because at these points, especially for Arsenal fans, yeah, we can get bantered on for the price and that, but he's a young man with bags of potential, and so we can't ruin the man already, man, because what we love to do is just grill a man and ruin him down. For me, yeah, he's not been the greatest, but today was a very good performance, arguably one of his best performances, even though he didn't get on the score sheet. And I feel like he deserved to, but it wasn't good enough. And Arsenal overall wasn't good enough. And I don't think he's to blame for the loss. I think the lack of creativity in the middle of the park is the reason why we lost that game, especially in that second half. I know Tobias came on, had some good touches, and brought the play forward a bit more. But what happened is that Sheffield United dropped back a bit. And a similar way they did against Liverpool, as the game went on and on and on, if it wasn't for Dean Henderson's mistake, I think that would have ended up as a 0-0 draw there. Unfortunately, didn't make a mistake today. It was quite good. And the Sheffield United back line and midfield as well, Lundstrom and their man in midfield were just circulating that box so Arsenal couldn't play with any creativity and create many chances. Now, what I would say is that with Tierney and Bellerin, I'm hoping that this helps us out a lot, because I felt like most of Chambers' deliveries were poor today. I feel like Kolasinac didn't attack the fullback as much as I would have liked him to, and I'm hoping Tierney and Bellerin, when they come in, do that, and maybe this has given Emery a chance to now say, all right, cool, I want him to play. He said he didn't play Tierney because Kolasinac hadn't done anything wrong to get dropped, apparently. Well, for me now, I think you now realise that if you want to go to away matches and win games, you need to start playing your best team, and Tierney and Bellerin, the better they come back, the sooner they come back, the better, in my opinion. But listen, man, yeah, people are calling for Emery's head. I'm not there yet, man. This chopping and changing business, I understand you're not happy with the performance. I understand you're not happy with the way we're playing this season. But, I'm a man to give him time. And I said we have to give them at least 3 winners, and I'm still there by that, and I'm going to stay there by that. We're not sitting in 12th, 13th place like other teams in the Premier League. We're sitting in the top half. We're just outside of the top 4. I know we were third behind Man City the other day, and now we're not, but so be it, man. The Premier League's going to have bigger twists and turns to come. Spurs, Chelsea, Man United, even Leicester have been dropping points all season, so it's going to be them ones where we're just going to be with those teams dropping points as well, and we need to be the better of the rest, really. We're not going to be on Man City and Liverpool's level and winning every week. We expect a level of performance. Yeah, I get that, and we're not getting it right now. For me, the sooner Ozil comes into this team, the better. And I know we played against Watford, and I know we didn't play well against Watford, but in that first half, I think we did all right when he was playing. Not that he was the one creating the chances, but we did all right when he was playing against Watford. We're 2-0 up in the first half, don't forget. So, yeah, man, listen, there's a lot to change in Arsenal in terms of the way we play away from home. But, yeah, an improvement's needed, and I think we've got the players to do that. So, yeah, hopefully we can do that and move on to our next game and Europa League on Thursday, and then back to the Prem on Sunday. Is it Crystal Palace, I want to say, what home we got? Yeah, so yeah, we'll see what happens then. Anyway, for now, we lost, innit? Is what it is. Have a good one, guys.